Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to learn Poem 1 Haunted House, which is written by H.W. Longfellow. This is a part of your 10th standard ICSE syllabus. The ghosts in this poem are not scary ghosts. They do not frighten anyone. They are gentle memories of people who lived before us. This poem has 10 stanzas. Through this poem, the poet teaches us that the past always stays with us through memories. Now let's begin with first stanza. Houses are full of memories. In this stanza, the poet says that every house where people have lived and died is a haunted house. Here, the word haunted does not mean frightening or dangerous. The poet means that such houses are filled with memories. These memories move quietly through doors and rooms. They do not make any sound and they do not harm anyone. The poet wants us to understand that memories live silently around us, just like thoughts in our mind. Let me give you an example for this. When you enter your old house and remember your childhood, those memories are like gentle ghosts. Now let's move on to the second stanza. Memories are always around us. In second stanza, the poet says that these memories meet as doorways, stairs, and passages. They come and go quietly. We cannot see them with our eyes, we cannot touch them with our hands, but we can feel their presence in our heart. The poet compares memories to the feelings that move in the air around us. Let me give you an example for this. While walking in your school corridor, you suddenly remember your first day at school. Now let's move on to the third stanza, Invisible Guest in the House. In third stanza, the poet imagines that there are more guests in a house than we can see. These guests are not living people. They are memories of people who lived there earlier. They sit quietly and do not disturb anyone. They are silent like pictures hanging on the wall. The poet shows that memories stay with us politely and peacefully. Let me give you an example for this. During family meals, we remember relatives who are no longer alive. Now let's move on to the fourth stanza. Memories are personal. In fourth stanza, the poet talks about a stranger sitting near him. The stranger cannot see or hear these memories. He only sees what is happening now. But the poet can clearly feel the past. This shows that memories are personal and special to each person. Not everyone can feel the same memories in the same way. Let me give you an example for this. Only you remember your childhood games clearly, others may not feel the same emotion. Now let's move on to the fifth stanza. The past still has a hold. In fifth stanza, the poet says that we do not truly own houses or land forever. People who lived before us still have a connection to these places. Even though they are forgotten, their memories remain. The past still holds on to what once belonged to it. This shows that history never completely disappears. The poet reminds us to respect the past. Let me give you an example for this. An old school building still carries memories of many students. Now let's move on to sixth stanza. The spirit world is around us. In sixth stanza, the poet says that the spirit world floats around us like air. We cannot see it, but it surrounds us everywhere. It moves quietly through our world. It gives life and meaning to our thoughts. The poet compares it to air because air is invisible but necessary. Let me give you an example for this. We cannot see air, but we feel it when the wind blows. The next stanza is stanza 7, balance in human life. In seventh stanza, the poet now talks about human life. He says, our life is balanced between two forces. One force wants enjoyment and pleasure, the other force wants higher goals and goodness. Both forces work together to shape our life. This balance helps us live properly. Let me give you an example for this. A student wants to play but also wants to study and succeed. The next stanza is stanza 8, unseen forces guide us. In eighth stanza, the poet explains that our struggle comes from unseen forces. These forces are like a hidden planet in the sky. We cannot see it clearly, but it influences our thoughts and actions. This makes life full of challenges and growth. The poet shows that not everything in life is visible. Let me give you an example for this. Sometimes you feel inspired without knowing the reason. Let's move on to ninth stanza, Bridge of Imagination. In ninth stanza, the poet gives a beautiful comparison. He says, moonlight forms a bridge over the sea. Our thoughts travel across the bridge, they move into imagination and mystery. This shows how the human mind dreams and imagines. The poet highlights the power of imagination. Let me give you an example for this. Children imagine stories when they look at the moon at night. Let's move on to the 10th stanza, connection between worlds. In 10th stanza, that is your final stanza, the poet says there is a bridge between our world and the spirit world. The bridge connects the present with the past. Our thoughts move across this bridge. It helps us understand life more deeply. The poem ends with peace and calmness. The poet shows that memories help guide our life. Let me give you an example for this. Thinking about loved ones gives us comfort and strength. Students, now let's see what is the conclusion. This poem teaches us that memories never die. The past stays with us quietly. It guides our thoughts, feelings, and action. Life is balanced between enjoyment and responsibility. The moral is very simple. Memories of past shape our present life. Not all ghosts are scary, some are loving memories. Thank you, students, for listening. If you like the video, give a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and do comment. Until then, bye.